G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially the Hunter Vale Black Diamond AFL.
You're looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Vale and their range of affordable SUVs.
We want to give a massive thank you to all of the Hunter Vale Black Diamond AFL sponsors.
Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club,
GE Industrial Solutions, ISC,
Prime 7,
Bar TV Sports,
The Entertainment Grounds,
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery,
Marksmen Workforce.
Please support our sponsors that support us.
And we'll catch you on the radio 6 to 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Introducing luxury you won't have to sell the house for. The new Havel H6 from $29,990.
G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially the Hunter Vale Black Diamond AFL.
You're looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Vale and their range of affordable SUVs.
We want to give a massive thank you to all of the Hunter Vale Black Diamond AFL sponsors.
Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club,
GE Industrial Solutions, ISC,
Prime 7,
Bar TV Sports,
The Entertainment Grounds,
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery,
Marksmen Workforce.
Please support our sponsors that support us.
And we'll catch you on the radio 6 to 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Time by 40 points, and then in their second meeting by 17 points. So, should be a good game of footy.
Yeah, nice little square up there from two-time Elliot Davey medalist Angus Darling, moving as good as always. Cameron Grantel missing a target, uncharacteristic for him. Was the best kick in the leg for 4 years straight, I believe, from 2007 to 2011.
Free kick there, yeah, Ethan. That was David Grimman, who just went down. 7,000 game veteran of the Panthers. Great footballer as they go forward once again. And Ryan Weber, who's taken up the coaching duties with very baggy shorts, goes back to the number 24 player there in Bush. Centres it up to Cosmeyer. He might give the hands unselfishly. He does. And it's a goal, I think. No, it's not.
We've got a free kick going to Killarney Vale there. They've butchered that one, Terrigal Avoca.
Who's umpiring, Ethan?
We've got Michael Suttett there from the Terrigal Avoca Football Club. Looks like he's the one-man band. He'll be covering a fair bit of Ks out there today, I dare say, Ryan.
God knows he doesn't when he plays. All right, so Killarney Vale have got the kick in.
Legend Maurice Gouler going on the mark there.
Yeah, 1,100 goals he kicked, Ethan, over an illustrious career between the Woy Woy Swans and the Terrigal Panthers. And really green, quite eccentric boots there from Maurice.
Yeah, the vote catch, as he calls them. Moving pretty well, the big fella.
Baxter coming in for touch number 2, getting a bit of it early.
He's put that straight down the throat of Corey Hopper. He'll look to jam it back inside in the direction of Goolagong. Ooh, got attracted to, couldn't pull the mark down. We'll exit there with number 46 for Killarney Vale, Connor Lyon.
So they got it on centre wing, the Bombers. They move it forward through Solomons. Michael Solomons But a nice chop off mark there, and Ryan Weber's going to end up with it now on centre wing. So Weber comes down the to the forward flank. Lovely grab there taken by the number 3, which is Penny Quick. Goolagong again down there with Cosmire. Great punch out down the front there. And another good contest.
And the follow-up by Maurice, that's beautiful.
It was nice. But they're under a bit of pressure, aren't they, Ethan? You'd have to say early that the Panthers have got the momentum moving forward.
Oh, absolutely, Ryan. They're moving it pretty well. Their ball movement, the quick hands inside, enjoying the football they're producing so far. Copped a high one. We'll have our first shot of the game. Maurice Goolagong will go back and slot this.
Played with Maurice, Ethan, in, I think, 2009 or 2010 when he kicked his 1000th goal.
Yeah, it's just like shelling peas for him that day. I believe the week
Gee
before
whiz.
he kicked 14 against Lake Macquarie. They had to pull him at three-quarter time. Legend of the game.
Still filthy that Jai Turner actually delivered him the footy that day at Hilton Moore.
Oh, mate. Part-time school teacher, full-time goal kicker, Maurice Goolagong. Misses. Oh, yes, misses.
Gee, that is surprising, Ethan, I must say. Maurice, so let's say, call it an even 1,100 goals over his illustrious career. In the familiar number 23 Guernsey, he'll be filthied himself, and he'll be hearing about that a little bit later on from some of his fellow midfielders.
Nice little chip from Killarney Vale. They're just edging their way up. Paul Hook's got it. Exiting 50 now. What a bad kick by Paul. Risky into the middle. Could it pay off? Probably taken a little bit early there, but we'll have a ball up.
Ryan Weber's been active, Ethan.
Yeah, he's been good so far. Baggy shorts, but seems to be quite aerodynamic in them. We see Cameron Grantel edging his way around the side of the pack there. Darling taps to nobody in particular. Falls out, and Weber's got his hands on it again. Been active there very early. Grantel, yeah, can't afford that. Good tackle though. Good follow-up from Grantel. Butters up. Gets the hands out.
So the Bombers will clear it now. He's on his left side, this fella, now to the 46 in Connor Lyon. Back to the 25 in Zara. Played a bit of senior footy of late. Comes out to the centre wing, the bench side, the broadcast side. That came off his knee. The 25 will get it again, which is Zara, Rob Zara. Left foot kick. Nice drop punt. Grantel covering some distance. Had a year playing soccer, did Cameron Grantel. He loves a hip and shoulder. Can't take possession on that occasion. Comes back to Juddy Mail. Back to Grantel. Probably touch 5 for him. And laces out Weber. Famously, probably the best kick in the league for 6 seasons in a row. Cameron Grantel. Weber. Darling. Looks into the middle of the ground now for the number 3 again, which is Penny Quick. Mark Penny Quick. Goolagong gets on the move. He's on his left side. Putrid delivery. And the 8 for Killarney Vale.
Chops off. Maurice looks like a piece of him. Can't quite get to him. Good story, Cameron Grantel. Plenty of years for Terrigal Avoca, also down in Wagga. Made the move over to soccer for the Wyong Watermelons. Couldn't get the premiership last year. That's a good kick. Killarney got the numbers. Interesting tap out to the 27. Loses his feet. 27, that's Brett Appleton. Oh, Ray. Good tackle from Ray. High ball up. Should chop that off. Oh, can't.
Apologies for the number 8. He's not actually on the team sheet. We'll get that sorted at a quarter time for Killarney Vale, but he's had a bit of it. And they've got it now just on half back.
Rodney McRoby, I believe his name is, Ryan.
Yeah. And yeah, this is Hook now with the footy.
Darling. He's a very
I beg
active
your pardon.
ruckman. Chips to Grantel. 2-touch mark. He's got it 60 out. I expect him to put this down the throat of Goolagong. Puts it long. Gongy, got it. Great
Just
mark.
class, wasn't it? I mean, that's something you would have seen in 2007, Ethan.
Yeah, it's a good kick from Grantel. He'll go to the bench now. 1,100 goals for Terrigal Avoca. Grantel probably accredited for about 600 of them, putting it down his throat just like that.
And it's the second time we've mentioned this morning Goolagong wearing extremely loud footwear and just kicking to one behind thus far. So he'll want to, compensate those shoes by at least hitting the middle of the goals.
Absolutely, mate. Right in front of the supporters here, just where he likes it. One for the crowd. Goes bang. First goal of the grand final, Terrigal Avoca. M. Goolagong. How many times have we heard that name in the comm box, Ryan?
Yeah, quite a lot, Ethan. So that's one straight goal to the Panthers. We'll get a score for you shortly. 1-1-7, leading Killarney Vale yet to score. Terrigal have had all of the play, 4 to centre, Ethan.
Yeah, they're just winning it inside. Their ball movement's pretty good. Killarney Vale just got to get a couple extra numbers inside, move the ball through the corridor. I'm sure this game will even up. But Terrigal Avoca looking pretty good right now, Ryan.
Hopper into the midfield. It'll be Darling again to ruck. He's got Appleton there too. It's just champagne tap from Darling. I reckon that might be the boy they call Rowdy there with the headband. And here goes Mick James moving forward to centre. He'll go down towards McCann, but it's well read by the Killarney defender. We'll get a number on him shortly. That's the 14, which is Scotty Baxter. He's had a bit of the play. And I dare say Michael Starter will have that and ball it up. Half-forward flank for the Panthers. We are 7 minutes into the first quarter of the granny.
Bush to ruck for Terrigal Avoca. Good tap, kicked out by Appleton. Looking for Goolagong. Could he have 2 in a minute? Hand pass unselfish to Dobson, alone in the square. Goal, Terrigal Avoca.
Yeah, starting to get a little bit of ascendancy. That midfield battle with Angus Darling, 11'6", putting it down the throat there of Hopper and Grentel and co. Weber. They're looking good, Terrigal. They're going to be hard to beat from here, but it's early days, Ethan. Shane Douglas comes onto the ground.
Shane Douglas, future, past second division player, future first division player for Terrigal Avoca. Still got a lot of good footy in him, Shane Douglas. Played a bit of New South Wales Cup Rugby League down in Sydney in the inner west. Bit of first grade cricket down there too.
Here goes big Gus Darling, the familiar tap to his sort of back right to Hopper. Darling again, he won't go to ground. The Julia Elliott Davey medalist.
Oh, Douglas, immediate impact, misses the tackle, unfortunately. Good tap, Darling. Killarney Vale looking okay here, the 56. It bounces off his chest. That is Thien. They're looking inside. Mopped up there by Aitken. Surging off half-back, the Terrigal Avoca president. And it almost gets his own kickback.
Just an honest footballer, Chris Aiken. He's been at the club for 10-plus years. Terrigal Avoca gives everything.
Absolutely right.
Loves
you just know what you're going to get from him. We'll have a ball up here. 50 out from Killarney's goal. Over in front of the Terrigal Avoca women's team. Good to see them out here supporting. Ooh, Reed. Not a bad tap. He'll get on the end of that. And Terrigal Avoca, it's a strong tackle by Killarney Vale. Couldn't see the number there, Ryan, but very solid tackle out here on this dry
It's a free kick in to the fella in 57, which is O'Rourke. Gerard O'Rourke, and they go forward. It's not a bad kick. It's just fallen a little bit short. Comes out to Corey Hopper. He'll kick it out to centre wing now. And a good grab taken, I think, by Dobson, the goal kicker earlier. Terrigal Avoca just playing a little bit of tempo footy. Goes down towards the 24.
Bush.
Yeah, Jason Bush. He's been active.
Oh, strong tackle.
I think it was
very strong tackle. We'll have the ball up there.
Beg your pardon.
He's jumped straight up the Terrigal Avoca player. That was a strong tackle. Well done, Killarney Vale. They've stepped up their tempo in the last couple of minutes, Ryan.
Yeah, good even contest. Both teams throwing themselves at the ball. And well done there. It'll be Ree again, Rowdy Ree's getting a little bit of the pill early. Dobson, goal kicker. Still trains twice a week, does Dobson. Ree again. Little handball over the top was a little ineffective, and Killarney Vale here might be able to get a possession and go forward. That was the 42.
Dobson's going to get it again here. What's he going to do? Goes long down the line. Looking for the one-on-one with Bush. Drops the mark.
In the back.
Free kick. Killarney Vale. Bit of pressure being applied here to Terrigal Avoca. They do have 29 players. 15 on field, 14 off. You would think they've got the legs to run this one out, Ryan. Kicks to 50 out. Killarney Vale. They've got the ball here. Good chance. The 14 for Terrigal getting back. That is Goldsworthy. Bobby Goldsworthy. Perennial reserve player for Terrigal Avoca.
Kim Shelley was down there for Killarney Vale, Ethan. Skelly, beg your pardon.
Douglas getting over to cover for Terrigal. Misses the tackle, unfortunately. Thought his rugby league background would have got him through there.
Kick was from Connor Lyon.
Hopper now through centre wing. Looks like he'll go long in the direction of McCann. It's good play from Killarney Vale. Not going too bad. McCann again. He'll have a look. Oh, can't take the mark.
That'll be behind. The
Greg Morrison there for Terrigal Avoca kicking the behind.
Killarney Vale backline under a fair bit of pressure. Scott Baxter, I thought, started really well, Ethan. They'll come out here to this broadcast side where Appleton will contest for the Panthers and take the grab. He's a 50 from home. He'll be too far out to score. He's got McCann in the middle on his own. He should mark this, McCann. Does. Got one in the ribs too for his troubles.
Had to be brave there and was.
It was the 12, Alex Kelleher there from the Bombers that gave him one on the way through, and McCann will line up and kick from about 35 metres, slight angle.
2 minutes to go in this first quarter, Ryan. How have you seen it so far, mate?
Terrigal on top. They're winning the midfield battle just slightly. But I thought the half-back line of Killarney Vale have stood up pretty well.
Yep, another rush behind there for Terrigal Avoca. That takes the score to 2-3-15. Killarney Vale still yet to score.
They come out here again. It's a poor kick out. McCann got hands on it. Appleton's been busy. Little handball inside to Dobson. The goal kicker, left foot from Dobson.
Wow.
Won't actually cross the line. It'll remain in play.
Hopper getting around at the back here. Picks it up. Beats it a tackle. Puts it into the middle. That's not a bad kick. Corey Hopper misses.
Near side.
Been a little bit inaccurate here, Terrigal Avoca in the opening stanza. 2-4-16 now. Will they rue a couple of these missed opportunities early? Bit of wayward kicking here, much like Steve Lynch in the reserve grade game yesterday for Terrigal Avoca at number 1 Sports Ground, which they prevailed in.
Good play there from the Killarney Vale backman. Just kicked it to himself, but Weber, who was very influential in the opening minutes. Little handball off to Dobson, who's getting better as the game goes on. Low bullet pass now to full forward. That could be a free kick. Not paid. Here you go, Killarney Vale again under that pressure through the 56, which is Fiend. Rod Fiend kicks it out to his next number 57, which will be O'Rourke. Gerard O'Rourke does pretty well out there. Little Dusty Martin palm off, and they go out to centre wing. The man in the gloves couldn't take possession. Grimman could. Hasn't fumbled in 26 years. Here's Weber again. Handball outside. The Panthers just making a little bit of a mess of it here, but they'll go inside 50 once again. This time a pretty, penetrating kick. Douglas is there for them, but it's well done to the Killarney Vale backline this time, led by Fiend and Robbo. He's named as Robbo on the team sheet. Back they go. Hopper.
Ooh, good tackle there by Terrigal Avoca. And that's quarter time, Ryan. Scores Terrigal Avoca 2 goals, 4 behind 16 to Killarney Vale. Yet to score, but they were pushing in that last 5 minutes, Killarney Vale. A couple of early nerves, no doubt, in a grand final, but they look to have resurrected those early problems.
It's the over 35s Masters Grand Final coming to you live from Bar TV. Second quarter action of the Masters Grand Final coming your way from Adelaide Street. It's the Terrigal Panthers with a 16-point lead at quarter time. They had most of the running in the first term. A little bit inaccurate, 2 goals, 4 behinds, Ethan. But they'll be looking to go forward again, once again, through their ruckman darling.
Absolutely, Ryan. Awesome first quarter as Grentel gets the first clearance there. Terrigal Avoca now running from right to left on your screens. I went down to the Terrigal Avoca huddle. They're pretty happy with how they're moving the football as Grentel goes inside 50 in the direction of Leecroft. But yeah, the turnover is now complete. Killarney Vale come away with it.
Yeah, so they move forward the Bombers through the 42, which is Kim Skelly. Had a little bit of the footy, but they go back inside, and it's Leecroft again who takes a mark, probably 40 metres out. And I'm not convinced he's got the distance, but he's giving all the impressions that he's going to go back and dob this.
Yeah, Coach Aitken at quarter time really just wanted to see a little bit more structure from the Terrigal boys. They're a bit inaccurate with their kicking goal as Leecroft comes down the runway now. And he has absolutely shanked that one in the direction of Mail.
So Killarney Vale now, they're pinned into the back pocket. Leecroft may get another opportunity, but they're fighting hard, these Bomber backmen, to clear the footy. They might get a stoppage here at the half-back flank. Michael Studdard will have it. He's paid a free kick, actually, to the Bombers. I'm not sure what for exactly. And I beg your pardon for not naming his name, but he's about 1 kilometre from where we sit here. A nice grab taken by Darling. Geez, moving well. He hasn't put on a kilo in 15 years. Or lost a strain of hair, just quietly.
Drives it in. Off Killarney will go out for a boundary throw-in. No luxury of boundary throw-ins here, unfortunately, for the Masters Grand Final. Will have to be thrown in by the players, as if they're not doing enough work already.
There's 16 there for the Panthers. He's walked over into the swamp to collect that footy.
Yeah, that'll be Lardner to throw the ball in for Terrigal Avoca. Probably 45 out. Deep in the pocket for Terrigal. He throws it in.
Adelaide Street's going to see its fair share of finals, Ethan, I believe.
Yeah, definitely. We'll recommence here in 2 weeks' time for the preliminary finals. Terrigal Avoca featuring in the first grade and reserve grade of both of those. After finishing minor premiers, as the turnover is complete with Mail, it's midfield. Kicks out to Cosmire. He's got a mark. Will play on. Unfortunately, couldn't nail the finish behind Terrigal Avoca. This inaccurate goal kicking continues, Ryan. 2-5-17, Terrigal Avoca now. Yeah,
it's probably his first year out of senior footy, Timmy Cosmire. He usually quite accurate. Played a lot of the 3rd division grade last year. And just viciously hooked that kick at goal. Very generous campaigner as Tim Cosmire puts a lot of money over the bar when the Panthers are successful. And we're all hoping he does again in 2018.
Absolutely, mate. We're at the eastern end now. Luckily that ball didn't fly too far over the fence. That can cause lengthy delays as Killarney Vale kick out in the direction of... Can't quite make out the number down there, Ryan, but they've got it. There's numbers around the footy, but they seem to exit their defensive 50, Killarney Vale. Probably a holding free kick there and paid. That could be 50. Grentel looking for a cheap goal. Celebrates.
What else is new?
Don't think he's heard the whistle yet. He'll have a ping from just about anywhere, Grentel.
Yeah, definitely there, that free kick, Ethan. There was just a blatant holding free, and Killarney Vale will have it at centre half back. These poor backmen are working overtime to try and get it forward to centre.
They are. Their midfielders and their forwards just need to give them a bit of link up as we go hands on through.
Glenn White had the footy then.
And that's just going to be chopped off by Mail. He'll be there all day for Terrigal Avoca. That centre half back, full back combination of Mail and Grimmond. Hard to match up on as we go inside. The club secretary, Ryan Weaver. He's got it right in the centre of the ground here. Options are plenty. Goes shortish. No mark taking. Grentel there for the crumbs with Killarney Vale taking over.
Yeah, so Killarney Vale go forward. There's O'Rourke, but they're sort of outnumbered at this contest. Weber again, he's covering some kilometres, and he's got average calves. He's running like a man with the best body in the world. Darling fumbled uncharacteristically, but does beautifully to handball off to Grimmond, who also fumbled. Weber again, and away go the Panthers through centre half back. Low pass, just a fraction too low. I think that might be, well, I'm not sure, but that's Nathan Ree, Rowdy as they call him, and that looks like a Cosmire, is it, Ethan?
Yes, Tim Cosmire down there for Terrigal Avoca. His kicking has been subpar to date. He'll have a shot here, probably 40 out, 45-degree angle over there in front of the Terrigal faithful. He'll be really looking forward to kicking this one if he can. Cosmire down the runway. Slow, deliberate approach. Strikes it. Don't think he's going to have the distance. Goolagong, no. Well spoiled by the Killarney Vale defender once again down there. That's 46, Ryan.
46 for the Bombers today is Connor Lyon, spelt like Gary Lyon.
The GOAT. So, no, thought it went through from behind. Must be in for a boundary throw-in. Who's down there? Free kick, Killarney Vale. Bit of pushing in the ruck there from Terrigal Avoca. It's a couple of free kicks now that Penny Cook has given away, Ryan. They'll have a free kick now, and they'll look for the switch. It's a good ball movement by Killarney Vale. We've missed this sort of just careful approach. We're going to have a turnover now.
I think he's given a 50-metre penalty, Ethan.
He has given 50. Encroaching on the mark, I believe, there was Penny Cook. Will come back. Killarney Vale 50 metres out from their own goal. Moving the ball now through the 7, which is Glenn White. He goes long. Good kick. Great kick. And the 25, he'll play on now.
Rob Zara played a little bit of senior footy. Went to that familiar left foot again down to the 54, named as Robbo on the team sheet. Grimman got hold of him and wrapped him up. No prior opportunity. Michael Studdard will have it half-forward flank there in front of a eager crowd.
Yeah, a bit of a crowd rolling in. I reckon there's probably 2,000 to 3,000 down here at Adelaide Street now. The hill is lined.
Certainly is. Good ruck tap down there. Darling again. Great below his feet for a tall man. Grimmond, the ever-reliable Grimmond, goes down towards Weber. Just the kick was a bit too heavy, and it was extremely well collected down there by the 32 in Damon Crowe. But it's gone out once more.
Yeah, Crowe played a bit of first-grade footy.
Look at the crowd out here, Ethan, on the TV, just quietly.
Yeah, you can see it on your screens now. Will McKellar, centre-half back for Terrigal Avoca, third grade. Throw in now, Garling to do the ruck work. Good tap there by the Killarney Vale player, but Darling follows up, tries to lay a tackle, and again, playing well is Angus Darling. Hand pass to Spoonman Grimman. He'll look to drive it inside 50 now. Who's he looking for? In the direction of Penny Cook. Spoonman Grimman chasing his own kick there.
So Killarney Vale now, they try to exit, but once again, Darling just chops off the mark in the centre of the ground. Handball's back in, and a little bit of foot candy, but he lost the ball there in the contest. It wasn't a tackle. Pretty good contest out there on centre wing.
Good job there by Craig Williams to Terrigal Avoca, the junior president. Spears a pass down the line, couldn't hold on to the mark, and will have a ball up right in front of the Terrigal Avoca faithful. Been pretty good today, Craig Williams. A couple of decent touches off half-back for Terrigal Avoca and that star-studded back line.
He's had a bit of it. This is Kelleher against Grimman, so Mayo gets it down to Grantel, who's been active. Big sort of hand grenade-looking kick straight up in the air, and it's whirled under to the bomber backman in the 7, which is Glenn White. Comes back out to that familiar wing, and that is the furthest point of the ground from where we sit here in the pub. They go down to the wing once more towards Zara, but it's a lovely chop-off mark.
Mail, I believe that is.
It could be Appleton. I'm not totally sure, but it's a good grab
it in there to Weber. He'll be looking for. He's got Grantel short if he wants him, fresh off his 10-week challenge. Goes further than that though, to Pennycook. Who's looks to drive it deep inside 50 now, but all Killarney Vale take an easy mark in front. That's a good mark there with the man in the glove. Can't get a number there, Ryan, unfortunately.
We'll get a number on him shortly. He's had a reasonable quarter, that fella. This is the 57 out there for the Bombers, which is O'Rourke, Gerard O'Rourke. Called his name a little bit early in the first term. They come out to this broadcast wing, but another good grab there taken by Craig Williams. Centres the ball in typical Panther fashion to Grimmond, the ever-reliable. That mark will be paid.
Angus Darling putting his hand up there. Another big spell for the Gus. He'll trot off for another break, as does Grantel. Looks like that's Dobson, the opera singer, as Grimmond goes in the direction of Goolagong. Uses that body as they do. to perfection. And Goolagong will line up from about 50 out directly in front here, Ryan.
He's kicked one of the Panther goals this afternoon, is that right? One of the two. So 2 goals, 5 Terrigal at the minute. Goolagong 1, Dobson the other. They've been a little inaccurate with 5 behinds as Grimman wants to come for a spell as well. Gus won't come back on as there's a race at Randwick. Goolagong misses that one out to the left.
Looks like he's actually fallen over there in his kicking action, Ryan.
So away go the Bombers. Got it at a half-back flank. That's a good kick out of defence. But this is where they've had their problems getting it past halfway as it goes down to the 7 in Glenn White, who's been pretty active across the midfield. Average kick at that stage. Well cut off down there.
By Goldsworthy, I believe, Ryan, as he looks to drive inside to Goolagong. Too far out to score. Predict him to wheel onto that trusty left. Wants him to go deep. Who's down there? That's the question. Pumps it in. Goes the Torpy. Interesting kick selection there by Goolagong. It's fallen down there for Hopper. Lays the tackle, but Killarney Vale good enough to get the hand pass out.
So away go the Bombers through half-back again. Well done down there by the 11, which is Ruddick. Got a kick down here to set a wing, and they could be out here if they can take clean possession. Does he keep it in play? He does. He does really well. So they'll go inside 50, the Bombers, for the first time in a while.
Goldsworthy chopping off there. Hands back to Mail. He'll look to kick this out in the direction of number 7 there for Terrigal, which I believe is the Montgomery. Wow, a bit of run and carry here from Zara. He'll look to pump that inside 50. Oh, Goldsworthy spoiled his own man, but very effective. Scrappy ball here. Anyone to win. What can Killarney Vale do here? They've one of their first real inside 50s of the quarter, Ryan. Hopper for Terrigal. Taken. That could be holding the ball. Holding the man? Not sure what that call is there from Studdert.
He's pointed the wrong way if it's a holding the man free.
Probably
Holding the ball.
Holding the ball. Lazy umpiring, if anything.
He's changed his action.
So we'll go to the 44 here for Killarney Vale, which I believe is Michael Solomons. Still plays a bit of reserve grade footy for Killarney Vale. He's got it probably too far out to score here. But let's see what Killarney Vale can create inside 50. Desperately need a goal here, Ryan.
Yeah, if they're going to factor in the result here, they need to, I think, convert a major. So Solomons will kick from 47 or so to go to the tip of the goal line. It's not a bad shoes. It wasn't Grimman, I beg your pardon. It was the...
Foster had the opportunity, but couldn't do much with it, unfortunately. Zara will take a good mark, 50 out from goal. Looks to play on, can't.
It was Brett Keenan earlier.
Chip inside to 44. He'll play on. He'll like a goal here, Killarney Vale. That is a goal, I believe.
Michael Solomons.
Ryan. Michael Solomons. He's paid that. Killarney Vale on the board here in the grand final. Terrigal Avoca 2-6-18. Lead by 2 straight kicks. Killarney Vale 1 straight 6.
Yeah, bombed the ball in earlier, did Solomons, and then got another crack at the title. Kicked it from a little bit closer, probably 35 out straight in front. Made no mistake. So a 2-goal lead here with just under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Exciting game of footy so far. Killarney Vale really squared it up. We'll go back to a centre tap here. If Killarney Vale are good enough to get the clearance here, Keenan into the ruck for Terrigal Avoca. If they can get another goal before half-time here with a minute and a half on the clock, they'll be right in this, Killarney Vale.
The man for me has been Robert Zara. He's led them as we go forward again through the 56, which is Fiend. One-on-one contest here for the Bombers. Can they get some numbers to the contest with 80 seconds remaining in this half? He might do. He's got a lot of pressure coming from behind, but he got a boot to it. It'll be a boundary throw in. Good decision there by Studdert.
Yeah, that was Solomons out there on centre wing. Really wanted to pump that in, but just got tackled down. Really good tackle in the end by Terrigal, possibly goal saving. So we've got 1 minute on the clock here. We've got a ball in. Young Talon Hopper throws it in. 50 out from Killarney Vale's goal. His father, Corey Hopper, couldn't gather. Mail in there for Terrigal Avoca. I think we'll have another ball up here, Ryan.
Yeah, it was Rod Fiend in there again, doing a bit of hard work for the Bombers.
Yeah, not afraid of getting his hands dirty, Fiend. He's been good in this first half. 40 seconds on the clock. Mail
Great
taps. Terrigal Avoca under the pump. Touched on the line. Can anyone from Killarney Vale get there? Falls to him. Great tackle. Awesome tackle there. Couldn't see the number there for Terrigal Avoca, but they'll come out here. Step inside, he's trouble. Got his kick away, well done. Looks like it could be coming back in. Killarney Vale got a 2-on-1, but Terrigal Avoca win it. Hopper in trouble. Play on. Killarney Vale.
10 seconds.
Members. Oh,
Zara's got it.
Here through Zara.
He wants to play on the left footer. Zara has a shot right on the buzzer. And that'll be it for half-time. Gee, they would have loved a goal then, Killarney Vale. So it's half-time at Adelaide Street Oval in the Masters Grand Final. Terrigal Avoca Panthers 2 goals, 6-18. Lead Killarney Vale 1 straight 6.
Yeah, enthralling half of football. Best half of Masters football I've seen all year, Ryan. Michael Solomon's just down here in front of us on the combox receiving a bit of attention. Could have copped one to the ear. But yeah, Terrigal Avoca have played some really, really good footy, Ryan.
Tell you what, they wouldn't want to lose Solomons. He was super active in the second half of that quarter then. Is it definitely Solomons down there?
I think it is their sole goal kicker. Anyway, Ryan, we'll take a break now as the players do. Really looking forward to seeing what happens in this second half. Welcome back here to the second half of the Over 35 Masters Grand Final. Angus Darling in the ruck for Terrigal Avoca. Been excellent so far, really, Ryan.
So the Panthers with a 2-goal lead now, moving into the second half as it comes out to this broadcast side. Nice punch there from the 2 in the Panther colours. Ethan? Who is McCluskey? Here goes Aiken, the president, the workhorse. Yeah, good play there. Just a percentage player. He's Chris Aiken. It's well done, though, to the Bomber player who dived on the footy.
Comes out through Mail. Mail will look now to Hopper. It's gone over his head. It's going to be clavered by Zara now in front of the Terrigal faithful. You can see in your combox they are just growing in numbers there. So kick inside. We'll go to Weber. Beats a tackle.
Been really good.
Has been very good, Weber, as he pumps it in. Looking out there for Dobson. Dobson will play on.
Kick a goal.
He'll go long. Numbers with Killarney Vale.
So the Bombers have got the footy now at centre-half back, but it only goes as far as Rocky McCann. He swings onto his right boot. Mick James is over the back. Do they get the bounce? It's well done there. As James takes the footy, it's going to be a free kick. Studdett's paid a holding free to the Bombers. And I think they've been okay, the back line of the Bombers, Ethan.
Seriously, if you came to me at half-time and said that Terrigal woke up by 6 goals, it would be very, very believable. They've stood tall, the Killarney Vale defenders. Fortunately, their use hasn't been as good as another turnover is enforced. Yeah, so McCann now boots it inside once again. It's well done, though, to the 7 for the Bombers, who's had a pretty good game, is Glenn White. He has. He's been excellent, Ryan. Comes out now to the 46 for the Bombers, who is Lyon, Connor Lyon, I believe. And he'll try and clear his lines, although the ever-reliable Darling, he'll play on. He'll look inside 50. He's got someone in mind. Nick James, well cut off there by the 24 and Paul Hook. Hook with a knee, that is. Well, and away go the Bombers now through the 58, which is... Wow. Darling, he's bought his own football here in the third quarter so far. Been the best on the ground by a country mile. It's Killarney Vale. They move it up on centre wing now. Great little, good little hand pass, and we're going inside 50 now. That was O'Rourke, Ethan. They go inside 50 to the Bombers. Should take a grab. Aiken, Pubes Aiken. It's well done there, though, to the Panthers backman in McCluskey. Kicks it out to this centre wing broadcast side for Dobson, and they're out now, the Panthers. Good little inside handball to Appleton. Come down to this half-forward line. Good contest from those two players. It's been happening quite a bit as the 46 for the Killarney Vale Bombers clears. Looking inside down to Spoonman Grimmin. Interesting little play there by Dobson. He'll go. Nice little kick out there onto the far wing. Is that Appleton, is it? He'll have a shot. Looks pretty good. He likes it. I beg your pardon. I think it might have been Mark Pennyquick, Ethan. Pennyquick? My apologies, Ryan. It is Mark. He can play a bit, that fella. He can. He's played a high-quality brand of football, and he's showing that here today. It's Terrigal kick away. Back to 3 straight kicks. Terrigal Avoca 3-6, 24. Killarney Vale 1 straight 6. Pretty unlucky there, Killarney Vale. I thought they were just starting to get on top there, but that goal really does hurt them. Have a look at that midfield. Darling, Grentel, Hopper, Appleton. It's a star-studded midfield here for Terrigal Avoca. Yeah, I think Angus Darling's got one hand on the Norm Smith as he just taps it beautifully down the throat of Grentel. Could have been holding the footy. Potentially a prior opportunity, but it stacks on there in the centre of the ground. Michael Studdert will have it. They've been honourable inside of the Bombers. Yeah, they have, Ryan. I think they can hold their heads up high with how they've performed thus far. Zara, the 25 for Killarney Vale, has been impeccable inside. As he goes at it again, can't quite collect. Dobson, he's been very active here, especially in the third. Hand passes back in the direction of Grimmond. Moving backwards here, Terrigal Avoca. Good pressure, Killarney Vale. Sweeping handball, Mail. Looks down the line in the direction of Appleton. Spoiled. Great spoil there by Killarney Vale. Can't quite keep it in. That is an awesome little defensive play there by the 45 in. Yeah, great punch there by Peter Kelleher. Very good defending. Wollongong to throw it in now. Darling doesn't contest the ruck. Weber down low. Gets taken. Good tackle there. Studdert put the whistle to his mouth but didn't blow. He'll go down. I think Studdert will take it now for a ball up. Went out and tested the ground at half-time, Ethan. It was rock hard. Yeah, a lot of strain on the knees of these players, Ryan. They'll be pretty sore at work on Monday, I would assume.
Most of these guys don't work anymore. Grentel. He's got the footy. He's going to switch it across the ground. What way are they running?
That's his soccer background there, Ryan. Just getting it in the box. Pretty slow to follow up is Cameron. Holding his right arm. Maybe he's done something there. And we're going with Bush now. Oh, hits the post. Bad luck, Terrigal Avoca. And the Killarney will kick in back through White. Goes short to the 18 in Cameron.
Stuart Cameron comes down here outside our broadcast box to O'Rourke. And a good clearing kick out of centre half back there by Greg Rolfe. So they're in the middle of the ground. That's not a paid mark as the 42 for the Bombers. Skelly tries to dispose of the footy, but Grimman ends up winning the ball now right in the centre of the field. Double backs. Little handball over the top was ineffective. It's going to be a one-on-one contest here. Yeah, well done by the Bombers player. Now Laser Shepherd is the 12 for the Bombers, which is Kelleher, Alex Kelleher. Gets out to the centre wing side, but well done.
Kick by O'Rourke, but couldn't find the free Bomber. That's a good intercept mark there by the 7 in White.
Being very active, Glenn White across half-back.
He's just going to chip short here. Grentel chops it off. Well done, old man. He's been good, Grentel. He'll look to put this inside. No friend of Goolagong inside 50, but he will go long. That's a good kick. Pennycook takes the mark, 45 outs.
He's having a quarter and a half, is Pennycook. So you'll see McCann lead across here. Mick James from the goal square, but he's giving all the indications he's going to line them up here. Goolagong is leading. He's just kicked that down the throat, I think, of Glenn White.
Yeah, maybe 20 years ago Murray would have got there, but not today. Not today at Adelaide Street. As Killarney Vale look to bring it out again.
Stuart Cameron's got it now on the half-back line for the Bombers. Nice little chip-up pass. He's at 50 metres, not paid. So Killarney Vale at centre half-back through Greg Rolfe. Pretty risky sort of kick. It'll be mopped up by Nathan Ree out on the far wing in the 31 jumper. Nice little handball over the top, and away go the Panthers again. They'll bomb it inside 50. Can they take a mark this time? They've got the numbers, the Bombers. No mark there, taken by McCann. Grentel on his wrong side. Nice little dinky left foot kick to the gong. And Grentel to Goolagong. How often have we heard it, Ethan?
For years on years, as Grentel takes a run to the bench. Maybe send a couple of emails in his role at Wyong Rugby League Club Group as Goolagong comes in. Should be pretty elementary from here, you'd think, Ryan. A little bit close to the man on the mark. No trouble at all for the great man. Goolagong's got 2. Terrigal Avoca. Kick away again, 4-7-31. It's Killarney Vale, 1 straight, 6. What do you think of this third term, Ryan?
Pretty good game of footy. They're battling away, the Bombers. I think the depth of the Panthers is starting to show. They have a lot of good footballers despite their age, running around and playing good footy, whereas it's probably the bottom 10 of the Bombers that are just struggling to keep up at the minute.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. As we go back to the centre. Oh, Weber almost to do the roving there. Good little tap there from Terrigal Avoca. I think we'll have another ball up here. Studdett calls it. Umpire Studdett. Co-coach of the Terrigal Avoca reserve grade side there, Ryan, who enjoyed a good win yesterday.
Yeah, top of the table side. The 2's there for the Panthers, so away go the Bombers now.
Off the ground, nifty little piece of work. That could roll right on through into the goal square at Killarney Vale. A bit of pressure on. Spoonman Grimmon's back there. He'll mop up as he always do. Good
Greg
hand
Rolfe
pass there to Craig Williams. And he'll kick out long to Hopper as Terrigal Avoca transition back into attack. Hopper beats one. Hand pass inside to Bobby Goldsworthy. He'll look down the line in the direction of Douglas. Sprays a kick, free kick, Killarney Vale.
Yeah, it'll be the familiar Glenn White on centre wing who'll take the out on the full free for the Bombers. He's going to look into the middle of the ground, and they haven't had too many problems at this point, but it's getting past halfway that's causing the issues. It's Stuart Cameron who just holds onto the footy, chips it out wide again. They're still a long way from home as O'Rourke has the footy. He'll bomb it inside again. This is where the Panthers have just mopped up with ease. Grimmon's in that contest, as was Bush. Looks like the footy will roll out of play. We are 5 minutes from three-quarter time, and it is a comfortable 25-point lead to the Panthers.
Ball up, 50 out. Killarney Vale attacking end. Grimmin to do the ruck work. Ree at the back. Good hard contest down there in the mud. That shallow pocket of Adelaide Street Oval. Terrigal looking to clear their lines here. Good pressure by Killarney Vale.
That's Robbo. He doesn't have a first name, Robbo, down there for the Bombers in the long, really long socks in the 54.
Yeah, he's a Brazilian man, Robbo, just the one name. But he has been very, very good today for Killarney Vale. 57 takes it out of the ruck. That should have been holding the ball. Play on called by umpire. Started very lackadaisical umpiring in Killarney Vale.
Number 12.
They have kicked a goal there through number 12, Alex Kelleher. Probably the youngest man on the ground, Ryan. He doesn't look any day older than 23. If he is over 35, he has aged incredibly well. Killarney Vale, could they be back in with a bit of a sniff here, Ryan? Some of those better players for Terrigal Avoca. Darling, Grentel, off the ground, does open a few things up here. Aitken, another one off for Terrigal Avoca at the moment.
Hughes has got to go balance the books. Chris Aitken, the Panthers.
Score now stands. It's a 19-point lead to Terrigal Avoca, 4-7-31, 2 straight 12 Killarney Vale. So we head back to the middle, Ryan.
Okay, so we're it'll be Brett Keenan to do the ruck work for the Panthers. He's going to be going up against Gerard O'Rourke, who's been pretty honourable, I think, O'Rourke today for the Bombers.
You can see here on our screens here, the 5, the water runner, Sharif Taylor for Terrigal, has not moved from that spot. Probably does have the best seat in the house. Hasn't actually delivered any H2O, but he's looked extremely good doing it as the ball goes back in now.
So Keenan, good tuck down there towards Hopper. He might have not had the footy, but wasn't paid. Play on is the call. As it's O'Rourke again, the ruckman, who butters up for a second effort. They go inside 50 again, the Bombers. They dearly love another goal, but it's a familiar half-back line that clears for the Panthers, and it's Davey Grimond in the 9. He'll centre up the footy. They've done this really well. Pretty good kick. It's a great kick. Actually finds Nathan Ree. He'll cut back inside, do a blind turn, run his distance, but it was cut off there by Rob Zara, who's been the best in Bomber colours for mine. No free kick to Ree, and they might have this down there on centre wing. Really good work there from Rob Zara.
Yeah, he's been excellent. Just for those watching at home, Killarney Vale are running 256 at the moment. We've got Fiend in the 56 and also young Schubert. Apologies to their families if watching at home if we have got those names confused. Below the knees, free kick there to Ree. He'll have it now on half-back for Terrigal Avoca. Goes long to Hopper. Caught right out there on the boundary line. 2 Bombers to contend with. Tries to skip around one. Can't. Hand passes to no one in particular and is paid for holding the ball.
Inside 50 go the Bombers. He's going to bring it back. He's Studdert.
Let the old men play, Studdert.
Yeah, fair comment there, Ethan. Killarney Vale here going to get the footy. There's only a minute left in this third term, and you would think, given the amount of goals scored, they'd probably have to pop one in the next minute if they're any chance of winning this granny. So they go forward again to centre half forward, but it's the familiar look of Grimond, who was a good contest down there. Grentel through the middle of the ground. Just sort of miskicks that one down there to his centre half forward player, but it's well done by McRoby, who cleaned up for the Bombers. It ended up being a free kick to the man McRoby for Killarney Vale. So he's got it in the centre of the ground. He handballs it off to that man White, who's been one of their best. And now Shane Douglas kicks forward down towards Mick James. It's well done to the Killarney Vale centre half back in the 24, Paul Hook.
Douglas butters up again in that characteristic running style. He's keen to get his hands on the mitt. He's chasing there. He's chasing hard is Douglas. Can't beat the Shepherd. He's moving pretty well.
Kelleher, and that's one of the 56ers who we're not entirely sure who's who. 26 seconds remaining, and Zara bombs at one-on-one contest. No mark.
Could have been a free kick there, Killarney Vale. Unlucky to 46, 15 seconds on the clock. What can they do with it? He'll have a snap around the corner. That could bounce in, could it, for Killarney Vale? That's a goal, Ryan.
That's a huge goal as we literally tick down. 5 seconds remaining. And we're going to go to three-quarter time with the Panthers leading 4 goals, 7-31. A goal to the Bombers with 10 seconds remaining makes them three. Is that the correct? 3 straight? 3 straight 18. So it'll be a 13-point differential at three-quarter time in the grand final for the Masters. Stay tuned. Three-quarter time here at Adelaide Street, Killarney Vale for the over 35s Masters competition. It's a 13-point lead to the Panthers. Let's go around the grounds with Ethan Formby.
So, firstly to the AFL, we've just started down at the MCG. Melbourne lead the Sydney Swans in that all-important clash. Melbourne 0 goals, 1 behind 1 to Sydney yet to score. And across the road at Etihad, Western Bulldogs, they've got a pretty important lead here. 13 points early in the last, 89 to North Melbourne 76. That could have horrific implications for North Melbourne if they do lose that one. And up to the sunny coast, we've just had in race 6 the number 4 Galtero's just run around at $4 odds and won that one. Brad Stewart aboard for TJ Golan. And if you are having a bet, please do so responsibly. But in the 7th, don't mind the 6 here, Ryan. Pinch Passion for Matthew McGillivray.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty smart bet. You'd have it on the beak, certainly. And whilst you're having that, probably have a sneaky 20 on Angus Darling to take out the Norm Smith in the Masters. Granny?
Absolutely, Ryan. He has been instrumental here for Terrigal Avoca. Tap work, sensational, working pretty well around the grounds. A few other good ones. Mail's been good down back for Terrigal Avoca. Obviously, we said numerous times for Killarney Vale, Zara's been really good. A couple of their defenders been playing out of their skins, really.
I think the 7, Glenn White's been super impressive for them. Gerard O'Rourke sort of battled away in the ruck. as is Keane and also Scott Baxter.
Yeah, both of the 56 have been good as we get underway here. Darling with the tap. Wow. Rowdy goes inside 50 and a mark straight away there to Pennyquick. He's probably 45 out straight in front. Pretty important settler for Terrigal Avoca if he can steer this one through, Ryan.
Don't know a lot about this Pennyquick fella, but he moves well. If he is over 35, he's not far past it the way he's going. And he has already hit the scoreboard, I think with just the one goal. He's going to line up directly in front, probably have to kick it 48 metres. He's pushed it out to the right, but a very nice, fluent kicking action from the number 3 from Terrigal Avoca, Mark Pennyquick.
So that's a behind for Terrigal Avoca. Errant kick out from Killarney Vale. You'd almost would call that deliberate, Ryan, but it's going to be a free kick to the 24 for Terrigal Avoca in... Haven't got a number there.
Yeah, Jason Bush.
Jason Bush. Very tight angle here. There's a few of the Terrigal Avoca support staff have moved in behind the goals here. So Bush loads up to the top of the 50. Not a bad kick there. It's just going to be a behind. They've pushed it out to a 15-point lead here, Terrigal Avoca. He kicks it in. Second time a bit better to Zara. He'll take a mark there.
He'll go to his familiar left foot with Rob Zara. He's been superb for the Bombers. I think their best player, but not getting a lot on offer past halfway. So he's going to go for the big switch kick, which has paid off. Well, it's sort of half paid off. It hasn't. No, he's just dropped the footy. That is a mistake there by the 11 for the Bombers in Luke Ruddock. So the Panthers are going to get it at centre half forward. And the way that fella's walking back, I reckon that'd be Juddy Justin Mayle, who is a beautiful kick of a Sharon.
Isn't he what, Ryan? Played a lot of footy with Juddy, I have, as a young fella. As he actually looks to pass. Always a very unselfish player, and he's proved so on this occasion. Pennyquick getting his hands on it, really. Could he be challenging Darling here for best on if Terrigal Avoca do prevail in this grand final? He'll load up here. Sprays the kick right. Goolagong probably gave away a push in the back there, but not paid. So he'll come around. Is that Bush?
24. It is Jason
Bush. It is. Jason Bush kicks the goal. Terrigal Avoca. That is excellent football there, and really the goal they needed with 12 and a half here left in this grand final run. Terrigal Avoca, 5-9-39. Killarney Vale, 3 straight, 18.
And for those looking for a nice dinner or nice Sunday evening event on the Central Coast, where would you recommend this evening for a nice balmy August evening?
Definitely the new Italian in its Terrigal, Ryan. Rondas, the newly renovated Rondas. Get a pasta, get a pizza. Great for the whole family. Stay around for a boogie if you're interested. I'll be down there, Ryan. I'll see you there, no doubt.
Yep, not a doubt in the world. So Weber's down there. He had a really good first half, sort of quietened down the second. This is Mayle on his left side. He's non-preferred, but it's a nice kick to Grentel, but a better grab down there taken by Lardner. So Lardner, half-forward flank. He's got Grentel open. He's going to go in that direction with a very awkward-looking kick. And surprise, surprise, Zara, the left footer, marks it for the Bombers. The 11 for them is Luke Ruddock, who made a blue earlier that cost them a goal, but he's done okay there to spot it up in the centre of the ground. That's a great chest mark taken, Ethan.
That is an awesome mark. That's Greg Rolfe down there from Rolfe Constructions. And we'll go to the 46 now for Killarney Vale in Connor Lyon.
So Lyon comes out of the half-forward fang. It's a
that-
lovely shoe. That's the fella who was injured, Michael Solomons. I think he might have kicked a goal, actually.
Yeah, he kicked their first goal and he's
The
dropped
first
an
one.
absolute sitter there. Possibly his hair got in his eyes, Ryan. I can't see from this angle.
Yeah, not happy Mick Solomons. He's a pretty emotive character by the look of him, and he's actually paid it. I think he's probably said something to umpire Michael Studdert there, and he's paid a free kick against him.
Wasn't happy with the treatment he got there, Solomons. Sorry, mate, that's Masters football. Can't pay those in a grand final. Great tackle by Bush. Has absolutely cleaned him up there, and he won't give the footy back. Could be 50 metres, not paid by Studdert.
I'm just about to put Bush in the votes, Ethan.
Bush is pushing into those top 3 for me as he switches. Great kick to Justin Mayle. And he's got Grentel on the move. Goes to him, makes him work, test those hammies. Grentel out in front of the Terrigal Avoca faithful. I believe Cass, Sonny and Eden all are here, the Grentel family. That's a spearing pass into Pennyquick. And he'll go to Darling, top of the 50. Bread and butter. He'll look to pass this off, Gussie. He's a very, very unselfish footballer. Probably not the best kick and definitely not the best mark. Killarney Vale taking over.
So the Bombers take it now through.
Good tackle there. It's Killarney Vale. Toe poking. Needs to pick this up. Can't. One of the 56ers picks it up and hand passes it to no one in particular. Justin Mail wheeling around. No left foot. Opts to hand pass instead. To Cosmeyer. Has kicked it like a absolute mule today, hasn't he, Ryan?
Yeah, I can say that about him. So they come out to centre wing for the 57 here, which is Jared O'Rourke. Played a bit of time in the ruck. He's going to kick it straight into the man on the mark as O'Rourke. A little handball out here to the 18 for the Bombers in Stuart Cameron, who's across the back line earlier. And it looks like it's going to be a ball in. So the Panthers have 1 3/4 hands on the Premiership Cup in the Masters. They're undefeated in 2018. They beat Killarney Vale in their previous 2 meetings.
Chris Aitken coming back onto the field for Terrigal. He could be important in these last 9 minutes.
Chris Aitken, what a workhorse. 106 years of age and just playing like a 20-year-old.
Absolutely, mate. He's got a new lease on life in 2018. Lovely wife, lovely young son. He's living the dream, Chris, as Killarney Vale look to go to Darling. Bowls him, but he butters up. Well done, Gus. Good tackle. As it go to the youngest man on the ground here in Kelleher. Kicks. Who's he found out there? That's a drop mark there. Mayo will win that contest every day of the week. Grentel, fresh off his 10-week challenge. Back to Grimmond. He'll look to put that out there. Not sure who that was intended for, but Dobson looks like he's down there for Terrigal Avoca. And Darling will take an easy chest mark now. He'll put that inside 50. Doesn't mind a big wide one to Goolagong. Oh, he's tried to mark that with his face as Maurice, and he's gone down. Boundary throw-in.
Boundary throw-in, 8 minutes to play. Adelaide Street Oval, the granny for the Masters. Chris Aiken gets a drink from Sharif to Law. At centre half forward now, Hopper. Nice little handball inside to Dobson. Goes back to Hopper, but that's one of the 56ers. It could be Schubert, it could be anybody. And they're in a pretty good place now, the Bombers, as they kick it out to centre wing, and it's the 46 for them.
Lyon, great mark there, Connor Lyon.
Good Connor. Been okay, Connor.
Yeah, he's been good. Ran up against the boundary line. He'll look to go long to Solomons.
Spoon.
Not going to win a free kick there, mate. Spoonman Grimmond. It was very, very animated yesterday at the #1 sports ground, and that's a very good kick there to Mail. Look short here. It goes a little bit longer to, who's that man down there at Bush? Wow. Isn't Darling good below his feet, Ryan?
Yeah, very good for a giant. They go forward, the Panthers again. Could have been a paid mark. Play on the goal. Darling like a rover. It goes down towards Goolagong, but the fullback has been pretty good for the Bombers, and he lowers his eyes and kicks it straight to, is that Jason? Our mate Jason? Jason Bush. Goes back inside once again. Gongi chases after the footy.
Tell you what, Jason Bush has put together a body of work in this second half, Ryan.
Yeah. Jason Bush has been one of the better players for the Bombers, led by Robert Zara, I think, as we look at Chris Aiken here out on the back flank for the Panthers.
Jason Bush has been good for Terrigal Avoca, actually, Ryan, but there has been a couple of good plays for Killarney Vale, also Zara, of course, as they look to clear their lines here. That could be White down there with a short stabbing sort of ball. And that looks like it could be over the boundary there. Oh, bit of push and shove there late in this last quarter. 6 minutes on the clock. Boys are getting a bit antsy. I dare say they are keen for a schooner, Ryan.
I think they were keen before the game started, Ethan. It's a boundary throw-in as Glenn White chucks the ball back to the boundary umpire there. Little tap inside. Mick James, not in the back. He's paid it, Studdert. Well, I've got to say, he hasn't paid a lot of free kicks today, and he's just picked one out there for Mick James, who played resi footy with the Panthers probably till about 6 years ago, I would have thought. Played a bit of footy with Mick. Always played in the forward line and loved a goal.
See Angus Darling there coming off. Could that be the last we see of him in this grand final, Ryan? That could be a turning point for Killarney Vale, but no prevail. Mick James has kicked the goal. Terrigal Avoca. They're going to be very, very hard to beat now with only 5 minutes on the clock. 6-9, 45 to 3 straight 18. Killarney
I think we
Vale.
can say they're home, Ethan. You got a result for us at the Sunny Coast, the favourite there?
5 minutes to jump. They're parading now, Ryan. Get on if you need to place a bet.
And the current odds for a win and a place?
For that tip, $2.15 the win, $1.22 the place. Wouldn't bother going each way. It just wins if it gets the right run.
That's the sunny coast this afternoon. We've got all sports covered here at Adelaide Street Oval, but it's back to the footy. Keenan won that tap. It goes out to Schubert or one of the other 56ers. Ree's had a really good game for the Panthers. Still got a bit of toe about him since he grew his hair out. Goes down towards Hopper. So Hopper now at half forward. Well done down there by Dobson. Kicked a goal in the first term. Comes back out there to...
Feen and/or Schubert for Killarney Vale. Reeves, I think that's gone about 5 metres out, and he's just going to continue playing on. Looks like we're going to have a boundary throw, and the game's really just gone to shambles here. Or is it a free kick? Studdart really needs to take control here.
Well, I haven't seen Michael Studdart come out of a jog, to be fair. He's been freeze from a kilometre away.
He's been tied to a post with a 20-metre rope attached to it and planted in the centre circle. As Mail, not quite sure which way he was going to start off with, but finds his bearings and kicks long to James, who takes a chest mark that he probably made it look a little bit harder than it was. Sporting the blue skins, their vote catches those ones. Probably won't calculate in any sort of best and fairest voting, but I think Darling's looking pretty good, that one for Terrigal Avoca. He's about 70 out here, but he doesn't mind his chances. Unless a 40k Gus picks up here, Ryan, at his back, I really can't see him making the distance on this one.
So James, right foot kick, nice drop punt. It's going to drop short a little bit, and it's a contested grab by Maurice Goolagong. Late in the game, I think he might have kicked 2 already. 2 of the 6 for the Panthers.
Yes, I believe that is correct, Ryan. He's a student learning support officer down at one of the high schools on the peninsula. Cutting meat at a butchery on Saturdays, kicking goals on a Sunday. Maurice Goolagong. Straight through the big sticks. He'll go straight to the bench. Get a schooner into him. He's done well, the big fella. No,
He's pulled up.
He's been pushed back. Not quite sure what he's doing at this stage.
Gus was in the middle of a hamstring rub and wasn't ready to come back on, so Gongi will go back down to full forward and try and pot a couple more before he puts the cue in the rack.
You see club president Chris Aitken there as he moves in front of the camera. Absolute stalwart of the Terrigal Avoca Club. One of the best liked men in the Black Diamond. So we get ready to get underway here for another passage of excellent Masters footy. 2.5 on the clock. Grentel spins and kicks.
Been good, Cameron.
Yeah, he hasn't been bad by any standard. That's an interesting little kick that probably has ended up out on the full there, has it? No. Boundary umpire. Oh, no. He's studded. He's got no idea really what he's doing. He's called a boundary throw and then he's paid a free kick, all whilst being 70 metres away from the plate. Good umpiring, Mick. Keep it up, buddy.
So it's Appleton, who started the game well. He slowed up a bit as it's gone on, but they're going to win this premiership, the Panthers. They're going to win it pretty easily.
First premiership of the 3 they'll be looking to win this season, Ryan. Reserve grade and first grade in the box seat to take home the trophy. And Moz has got another one. He's called play on. Quick snap, goal. He's got 4, the big man.
Yeah, he'd like that.
Pretty happy with his own work as well.
Yeah, nothing changed. Great footballer.
Tell you what, if you are going to wear fluoro green wheels in a Masters Grand Final, you probably do need to kick 4, Ryan.
Yeah, fair comment, that.
In that famous 23. Thank you to Will McKellar for letting him borrow your jersey for today. Very generous. So, inside the final minute here of the Masters Grand Final for 2018, Terrigal Avoca been just a little bit too good in this second half for Killarney Vale. They have been valid in defeat, but Panthers are going to get the chockies here. They'll be drinking from the cup tonight. A couple of 4X mid-strengths. No full strength. But they will be enjoying themselves, I can tell you that for free.
So they'll go through undefeated, the Panthers. Well done by Ryan Weaver, Chris Aiken and co in leading this Masters side. They've been enthusiastic and had bulk numbers since the beginning of this season. Killarney Vale were good early, just couldn't compete for the full 4 quarters with the strength of this side. Great tackle, Grentel. Might be one final clearance. Ree's had a really good game. He's battled all day. That could be holding the footy. No.
Hold on there. Start it. inside the final 10 seconds here. Who can win this last clearance? It could be Grantel. And he's caught holding the ball. That's an unfortunate end of the game for Cameron. There it is, Ryan. Terrigal Avoca, Masters over 35s premiers for 2018. Congratulations, Terrigal. Too good on the day.
Terrigal Avoca win the Masters Premiership. 8 goals, 9 behinds, 57. 3 straight to the Bombers, 18. Just run through some of the better players for Killarney Vale, the defeated side. Thought Scott Baxter started pretty well. Gerard O'Rourke battled away. Michael Solomon's kicked a couple. He was off injured for a while. I thought Glenn White was really good. But I think the best player for Killarney Vale today was the left footer out of the midfield, Robert Zara. Well done, Rob.
Great game, Rob. For Terrigal Avoca, probably some of the better players. Jason Bush was electric in that second half. Rodney Dobson tried hard all day. Of course, Maurice, the great man, with 4 goals. Grantel, not bad through the middle. I guess you could just rattle them off. There was lots of standouts down back. Grimmins, Mail. But definitely, I think we're both pretty confident in our selection here. Best on ground, Masters Grand Final. The number 19 for Terrigal Avoca, 7'8". Angus Darling. Well done, Angus. Shout out to Megs and the family if you're listening.
Yeah, great game to Angus. I think he had a terrific year from what I could hear. So, from Adelaide Street Oval, this has been the Over 35s Masters Grand Final. My name's Ryan Webster.
My name's Ethan Formby.
Have a nice evening.
G'day, Rabbit and Julie Goodwin here from Star 104.5.
We love the Central Coast and we love our local sport, especially the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL.
You're looking for a feature-packed premium SUV for your family? Check out Hunter Haval and their range of affordable SUVs.
We want to give a massive thank you to all of the Hunter Haval Black Diamond AFL sponsors.
Belmont 16-footers Sailing Club,
GE Industrial Solutions, ISC,
Prime 7,
Bar TV Sports,
The Entertainment Grounds,
Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery,
Marks Men Workforce.
Please support our sponsors that support us.
And we'll catch you on the radio 6 to 9 weekdays on Star 104.5.
Introducing luxury you won't have to sell the house for. The new Vale H6 from $29,990.